So you've just had a facial. Your skin is looking good, radiant, glowing, and you just wish that feeling and that look will last for as long as possible. Well, what if I told you that the first 48 hours of receiving a facial are the most important, and that period of time determines whether you're going to ruin your whole investment or whether you're going to achieve a prolonged, beautiful, radiant glow. So in this video, I'm about to give you the essential tips for post-facial skin care. Hello, my name is Senna. Welcome. I'm going to be reading, looking down at my notes from time to time because it helps me give you the most information possible. I really don't want to leave anything out. And there are two versions to this video. One is a lengthier one, and then which has more details about how to maintain and prolong the beneficial effects of your facial. This one, I'm trying to make it as brief as possible. So I've written down the points. So I'm going to be looking at them. So like I mentioned, once you've had a facial, your skin for the first 48 hours is very, very delicate. And it is very important that you take care as much as possible to ensure that you don't further irritate your skin. So one of the golden rules is please, whatever you do, keep your hands off your face. I'm gonna show you another video of one of my clients who when we asked her how she felt about her facial, of course, just like we all do, her hands went straight to her face. I was like, oh yeah, it feels so good and all that. However, the golden rule is keep your hands off your face. And also let your skin breathe, because the skin at this point is like a sponge. Let me just give you a demonstration. You can see, how all the little holes in the sponge. That is exactly how our skin is after we've had a facial, because most likely we would have had, apart from the cleanse, we would have had an exfoliation. Some people have extractions and scrubs and masks and all that. And all that is intended to, apart from, heal the skin, it is used to bring out impurities from the skin. So at this point, like I mentioned, the skin, the pores are very open at this time, just like a sponge. So they just, absorb anything. So when we touch our faces soon after, we are more or less transferring bacteria, oils, and dirt onto the skin that is already, the pores are already open, and so once we touch our face, we are now reintroducing bacteria, which can lead to infections, irritations, especially if one has had some extraction. It is also important to let the skin breathe, because like I mentioned, the pores are open, that is the time for the skin, to be allowed to breathe. So this is not the time to go and now put on heavy makeup. And because what that's going to do is going to reseal the pores and trap in any, trapping impurities. So, yeah. So after, you've made sure that you're not touching your skin, you're not reintroducing bacteria. It's very, very tempting. So, I mean, I would want to say, oh, is it smoother than when I even went in and all that? However, you know, even if we are going to do that, wash your hands before you touch your face. So the next one is about gentle cleansing and your product choices. So it's really important to use as a mild cleanser as much as it's possible. You know, use a very gentle cleanser. It's not important I actually tell you the exact cleanser to use, because you would have been using a particular cleanser, except you ask me, you know, directly what cleanser should you use. I would just say use a mild cleanser, because that will prevent any harsh harsh effects. So use a mild cleanser, and also use warm water, not hot, because if you use hot water, it's gonna, you know, make your skin dry. It's gonna strip your skin of its natural oils. So using a mild cleanser and using lukewarm water is also important. And like I said, this is not the time to now introduce heavy lifting commercial products such as AHAs, BHAs, retinols, strong vitamin C's, because those are really, they can be really harsh and they can cause more irritation. This is the time when your skin is very delicate and needs the least amount of extra harsh chemicals as much as possible. Like I said, if you can avoid makeup, please do. Usually, even if you have to, I would say maybe mineral based, light mineral based makeup, you know. But personally, I would let the skin just breathe for the first 48 hours, and also, you know, to recuperate from, you know, more or less, you know, because the rubbing, the scrubbing, the cleansing, the extractions, and all that, you know, you don't need any extra. And these AHAs, these are alpha hydroxy acids. They are also exfoliants, but they tend to be, you know, on the harsher side. Same thing with beta hydroxy acids and retinols. And I don't actually use any of these products. So, and then any strong vitamin C also can help to leave your skin a little bit more vulnerable. Hydration and sun protection. So have a glass of water, drink as much water as possible. So you'll be hydrating from the inside out. That helps to get rid of, you know, toxins and any other waste, toxic waste. So yeah, so drink as much water as possible, and also moisturize on the outside. Usually the products that I would recommend would be something that has hyaluronic acid or ceramide. I don't use I don't have any available, but I use products that are hyaluronic acid based. So I would advise that you use that, because those are very good for keeping the skin hydrated. And another thing is also sun protection. Is amazing to know that even when you are indoors, your skin is still vulnerable to damage from the sun. And you know, after you've had a facial, as I said, your pores are open, and this is when, you know, you can get some damage, you know, from UV rays and stuff like that. And apart from that, the surface of the skin, you know, it has been exfoliated, meaning that the dead cells have been, you know, scraped off, leaving your skin, because the dead cells, in a way, you know, they kind of play a role because they protect your skin to some degree. So after they've been removed, your skin is, you know, open to sun damage and any other external damage. So be very careful to use an SPF, a sun protecting cream that is SPF 30 or higher. avoid intense workouts. Yeah, going to the gym, you know, sweating, heavy sweating, and all that. You know, anything that generates going into a sauna, whatever, anything that, you know, generates more sweating, intense heat, it's time to just cut that out for maybe about 3 days or so, just to prevent irritation of your skin. So yeah, so that's what I would advise, that, and just limit any intense exercises to avoid over sweating and any heat, to prevent irritation. So little things, you know, make a big difference. So another thing you could do after you've had a facial is to put on clean pillowcases, because you know how our pillowcases, you know, attract oils and, you know, dead cells and bacteria. Our faces are running, you know, rubbing over them and all that. So it's advisable to change your pillowcase to allow your delicate skin to have a nice fresh surface to lie on. And another good thing is to follow your therapist's advice. You know, whatever advice that your facial therapist gives you, kindly follow that, because we know what we apply on the skin, and therefore we are in a better position to say, okay, avoid this or use more of that, or, you know, that sort of thing. So it's always good to follow your therapist's advice. Also, understanding reactions. Usually after you've had a facial, there are certain things to look out for, and those could be in the form of flaking, dryness, breakouts, and skin sensitivity. All this is just due to the fact that, you know, you've just had work done, you know, and you could, as I said, have breakouts. You could see pimples breaking out here and there, or you could see some flaking and things like that. And as I said, this could signify that the facial you've just had is actually working. Your skin is detoxifying, because your pores are open, and it is meant to, you know, get rid of any impurities in the skin. And this process of, you know, you seeing dryness or flakiness or spots or something like that is called purging. That's what we call purging, meaning that your skin is trying to purge, to get rid of any extra impurities that really shouldn't be in there. So don't be alarmed if you see anything like that, or dryness, especially if you've had an exfoliation. You know, chances are your skin would be dry. So yeah, so just be mindful of that, and don't be alarmed. However, if it's anything apart, anything untoward, anything that seems a little bit out of the ordinary, of course, do get in touch with your therapist. And yeah, so long-term glow, to go beyond after the 48 hours, how can you maintain, you know, that look and that glow and that radiance? And as I said, even though this video is more focused on the 48 hours, we must remember that great skincare is not a marathon. I mean, sorry, it's not a sprint. It's actually a marathon. It's a journey. And so we have to ensure that what we do is in line with what we want to achieve, which is in achieving glowing and healthy skin. And therefore, the three things are using a good cleanser, a good, you know, moisturizer, and of course sun protection. So another thing to do is also facials. If you can, you know, have a facial every 4 to 6 weeks, or it depends on, you know, your skin type or skin condition, you could have it sooner. However, 4 to 6 weeks is a good time to go back and have a good facial, because that helps to maintain the treatments, and also helps to keep that momentum going. So that is what I would actually suggest. I would also advise that you know, if at any time that you have any problems, just ensure that you always contact your therapist. So yeah, so basically, if there are any other, I don't think I've forgotten anything else, but if I have, I would also always post it in the other video. Like I said, this is in a two-part one. This is just a short one. So let me know if you have a favorite post-facial tip, and also if there are any questions that you would like answered. So as I've mentioned, just, you know, ensure that you are cleansing using the right cleansing product, mild as much as is possible. You are also moisturizing with a moisturizer that helps to keep your skin hydrated, and also you are protecting your skin from the sun. So if you have enjoyed this video, kindly subscribe, like, and also kindly let me hear from you. Drop any comments that you have in the comment section, and kindly please keep your skin glowing, maintain that beautiful skin as much as you can. All right, so I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.